And welcome back to Mzansi. We're back again. It is that time of the night where we have to talk about what happened in this case. Yes, indeed, we are here for it. The day that we all have been waiting for, you all have been waiting for, has finally come. But let me tell you something. I think it was fast forwarded by the fact that Mngomezulu is sick. I think it was, but it was still going to continue.
Do you think it was going to be longer had he not been sick?
Yeah, it was definitely going to be longer. But the problem is that he's more of a loose cannon.
Hana structure.
No, I'm saying
sequential.
No, he's a wild card. Mngomezulu being sick, and I'm saying this in both ways, in inverted commas and in being real. Mngomezulu being sick. He's a wild card that they don't want to have far from them. You understand? He's there, he's watching on TV, he's seeing, he's getting ideas. And he could be, and last time they met him, he was asking for accused number one's ID. So yeah, so that is scary if you ask me. It's like having something outside, you know that you're still gonna go out and you have this unknown animal that is outside. So it's a wild card that is scary for them. So rather finish, maybe bring him back as fast as it can. And the fact that he's gonna be the end now, it's gonna be at the end now, it's not even helping. It is working in a defense favor, if you ask me. Mngomezulu is the one who has a history with the man in that stand. He has faced him before, so that plays, he's got an advantage and he knows some of the tricks, if there are tricks. So it's a good thing, in my opinion, that is happening. So there is nothing anyone can do. I'm just gonna have to sit back and watch and enjoy. But if you ask me, this was a quick wrap-up than expected. It was a quick one. All of a sudden, everything was just fast.
I expected it to be longer.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was going to take a little bit longer, like this whole entire week, provided of the many, many things that he had to cover and provided that he's the lead investigator of this case.
What we have figured out, in my opinion, is that the man, he might say, according to him, he did a thorough investigation. For me, no, he didn't. It's a matter of just regurgitating what everyone has said. So that can actually take even more longer, because there were many people who talked and many people who said, hey, ask Brigadier Gininda, ask Brigadier Gininda. You know, and I think he's ready now for that. The only problem is this guy called Mngomezulu. He's a problem, that guy. I'm not going to lie to you. In my opinion, when I view it, he's a problem. He's a he's a problem. So if there was any way of like dodging the situation, this was the right time. Finish, and then Ramusipiri starts, and then someone who's going to be standing for Mngomezulu, probably, they thought, in my opinion, was going to say, okay, because accused number one always starts, I'm going to start. But the Mngomezulu came and said, no, I'm going to be at the end. It's a good defense. It's a good change of strategy, in my opinion. It's
happened for him to not actually be there in that court today or yesterday. Kind of work to his advantage.
Yes. It gives him time, and for some of these things, you know, when you're sitting in court, you can hear, but unlike when you are far and you're watching on TV, you can reverse and pause and really listen and say, what is he saying? You know, you can ask those questions. In court, you have to keep on writing. So everything is at the fast pace.
Yes.
So now it's the right time for him to revise everything and put it in an orderly manner where everything is going to follow one another according. And in my opinion, I think it's a good thing that, in my opinion, it should have happened long time ago. Ramusipiri is the starter. It's unfortunate that accused number 2 is the one who took, but he's a starter. He's a starter. He's the right person to start. He knows how to open and pave the way for everyone else. And then it's up to you where you want to pick your fight at. Ramusipil puts it there and say, I've laid before you. All you need to do is to finish it off. And he's the right person. And the time that he got, I think it's going to work on his favor and on his confidence, which he's going to need, considering the fact that we do not answer questions, but we speak in circles most of the times and deviate most of the times. So he's going to need that patience. He's going to need that patience and to tire a man out.
Don't say that. The judge is not going to like you to hear you say that. Doesn't want witnesses to be tired. No. And another thing is, I'm happy he's done, although I didn't expect for him to complete his evidence in chief today. I did not see it coming. Because it was kind of thrown off guard. I still thought, he had a lot more to unpack and uncover. But yeah, it came as a surprise to me. That's why I'm like, whatever Mngomezulu told him to not engage today or turn back, it was really a blessing in disguise, because he was supposed to start today. He could have started today, and provided he's been sick, I doubt he was prepared. I doubt he was prepared if he was ill. Understand? So Advocate Charles Mnisi for accused number 3 and Thulani Mngomezulu for accused number 1. In the morning, they were not in court. And Advocate Zitulele Nxumalo said that he will stand in for both of them. And then the judge said that Nxumalo must place those reasons on record, because he said that he will be available on Monday. And Mr. Mnisi said that Mngomezulu will be available today now that there are new developments. He won't be available because there are new developments. Then he asked Uguti why doesn't he place on record why Mr. Mngomezulu is not going to be available in court, because according to his understanding, Mr. Mngomezulu is supposed to be available on Monday, because that's what he put on record via Advocate Mnisi, that he was only going to be available on Monday. So the judge insisted that Nxumalo place it on record as to why he's not available. And Nxumalo said that even though Mngomezulu was available this morning, he informed them in the passage that he wasn't feeling well. He still had to go and see the doctor on Thursday. And in his circumstances, he requested that the matter should proceed in his absence. He's very considerate, is he not?
Yeah, because, most of the time, he has been, in my opinion, made to be a center of delays. Yes.
So now it's like, you can continue without me. It's fine. You can continue without me, it's fine. So, and even with accused number 1, he doesn't have a problem with him in his absence, as long as he knows that he's covered. When the time comes for cross-examination, he will cross-examine. So then Baloyi said, when we adjourned on Friday to Brigadier Gininda, you were commenting on the version of Mngomezulu regarding Longwe Twala. You said the blood swabs taken from the kitchen tile wall, both wet and dry, match the DNA profile of the deceased, and there was no any other blood of any other person except the blood of the deceased. And Gininda said, that's correct, my lord. So guys, I did not greet. Hi, welcome to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. We just dived in and it just came to me right now that, guys, how are you doing?
It just dawned on you.
Guys, I have not greeted. I just couldn't wait to jump on this evidence in chief. Today was a lot more interesting than Friday. That's for sure. Today we got a lot of bit of gatas and new information that is important that I don't think we've ever heard before, and to hear it from the source was quite interesting.
We've not traversed it.
So Baloyi referred Brigadier Gininda to the post-mortem report, and Baloyi said that the pathologist retained certain specimen. Baloyi wanted Gininda to mention the specimen retained during the post-mortem record, and Gininda talked about blood and swabs from fingernails that was for DNA. He said that the purpose is for the DNA examination referred to as SFOE Mukwena. So SFOE Mukwena is the one who did the DNA testing on the fingernails as well as the blood swabs. You know what the interesting thing about the fingernails is, knowing that the DNA tests were done, however, they have not been shared in court as to what DNA material was on Senzo's fingernails. It hasn't been shown.
Look, it couldn't have.
It couldn't
have, because I mean, it's always gonna take away from what they wanted, in my opinion. Senzo's DNA is definitely gonna take something away. I mean, what is on the nails is gonna take something away. So if it was a match for these guys, it was gonna be said. The doors, these guys are not there anywhere. Like, basically, nothing puts these guys there in a form of DNA. Nothing, even the head.
Because what's in those fingernails DNA is going to paint a picture of who he was in a tussle with. You know, and if it's any of the accused that are standing before that court, then one of them, their DNA should be in those fingernails. But it's not presented in court by the state.
Yeah, and indeed, there was no statement that Gininda read of his own, right? Of what he compiled.
He read it in the trial within a trial.
Yeah.
But it was with regards to how the confessions were taken. It wasn't about the overall investigation. And he kept referring to the affidavit. That affidavit was presented in the trial within a trial, and it was traversing mostly on how he got the accused's confessions.
Yes, but not how the case was created.
No, he just came and added a diary and said that's pretty much it. His own affidavit of what he went through, the journey of investigation. He was literally giving it as testimony
and as opinion
from the bar.
Yeah, it was mostly the opinion which Mnisi asked him to refrain from. Most of the time, it was his, like, it was as if he was writing judgment, which surprises me for a seasoned police investigator who comes here and does that. You'd assume an investigator must portray that position of being neutral, in a sense, and that is a position that makes one to take the decisions. Those are judges and everyone else who's going to be in court who's supposed to do so.
Yes.
But it seems as if he has a position.
Yes, he's already taken a side.
Yeah, that is that, and Nisi called out this thing, and it looked as if it was just a Nisi throwing tantrums. But it is indeed correct to call it out, because in your investigation you should always portray neutrality as much as you can, even if you feel however you feel about the situation. But neutrality is the one that makes you a good investigator. Emotional intelligence, in a sense, because that's where it cringes on. It's on that level of emotional intelligence. How you do your investigation, how you decide to venture into a certain direction and all, until you arrive to a position of you wanting to arrest these people on the basis of what you have found out while you were investigating and you were neutral.
Baloyi then referred Gininda to the DNA report. Gininda read where it said that the results matched that of the deceased. Baloyi then asked him, you also testified about various places that you visited to verify if Longwe Twala received medical treatment at those facilities. And Gininda said that was correct. Then Baloyi asked Gininda to place those facilities on record. Gininda said that the first one was at the clinics where the deceased was admitted. the same hospital where the deceased was certified dead on the day of the incident. The reason was because one could place Longwe Twala at that location on the day of the incident. He said he could not find the records. And then the next one, it was a government hospital in Vosloorus that was prior to the name of Rand Clinic given to him. He said, I was just doing my own investigation. And then out of curiosity, I'm wondering when did he do this investigation?
While someone was testifying, I mean, of course, that's where we are going, which is not a problem because they declared that this is an ongoing investigation case to such a point that even when they are cross-examining, they will still bring those.
So they are still waiting. They are waiting on the defense to say something that's contrary, and then they go and investigate.
Yeah, and my worry though is he could have done the same way that he did with a gun. Why is it scary to take that direction? I mean, for someone who doesn't have anything to hide, they will definitely cooperate.
Yes.
The only time people won't cooperate is if they really do not have they have something to hide, basically. So I still don't understand, but I guess the man did what he wanted to do.
Well, the judge wanted the name of that hospital, and Gininda said that it was Natalspruit, and the judge asked him if it wasn't Paul or Tera Mkhwerane, and Gininda said it could be, but he's obtained a report. Later on in the proceedings, he did confirm that it was Tera Mkhwerane Hospital. The court was right. This was after the short adjournment later on. Then the judge said that it's a name that he thinks he knows. And then Baloyi continued. He asked Gininda, you say you obtained a report. Do you have that report at hand? And Gininda said, yes, it's in the docket. When I obtained it, I attached it to the docket for the purpose of disclosure and made it available through the normal processes. Then when the name Rand Hospital came up, I established the records of that facility, and I found that they are kept at Park Lane Hospital, and they could not find any records. He said he also obtained a report of confirmation from that hospital, and he said that he was with his team members, Warrant Officer Mokoena, who played a significant role. Now, this Warrant Officer Mokoena, is he still investigating along Brigadier Gininda, or he did investigate in the past? And why hasn't he come to court to testify?
It's a very good question.
Who is this Warrant Officer Mokoena?
To me, it's a new name.
Me too.
I've not heard before.
And to find that they were actually looking for the records of the doctor when the doctor was mentioned this year in court, it means Warrant Officer Mokoena is still working.
What is scary is that upon that submission being made, that would have suggested that the person that made, if let's say for argument's sake it was a doctor or any of the doctors that suggested that, for the defense to, for the state to go and look for that person who, in my opinion, would be a credible witness for, or maybe would be a witness for the defense, isn't that infringing a bit on the defense? And that speaks to what the judge
like
normally
some form
does.
Of intimidation and whatnot.
Like, wouldn't it amount to that, to intimidation? What were you looking for? Let's say you did find this person. What were you? What was gonna be your way forward? And it tells you, Longwe did 1, 2, 3. What were you gonna do? Were you gonna come back and exonerate those people who are there? Is that what you were going to do? Because the proceedings were already started. So what was an aim for you to do that? Was it just to get your own narrative as you managed to go out and you're coming with reports now? God knows and those reports are saying there's nothing. What nothing? What was there any record, or there are no records, or the records have been destroyed? What is it? You know, you are coming back now. You are telling us, in a sense, to me, it looks like you are trying, by all means, to have us think the way you are thinking, and however you are convinced towards these accused. That's what you are trying to do, in my opinion.
Well, then Baloyi said to Gininda and Dr. Mbazani and Dr. Mudise, Gininda said that he could not find them, but he has since established that Dr. Mbazani has passed away some time back around Soweto. When and how did he confirm that is the question that I have. The means that he went to find out Dr. Mbazani, who he is and where he is, and all of that information. When he testified on Friday, he said he didn't have the information. And now, like over the weekend, he just came back and found a whole cause of death for Dr. Mbazani, and even where he passed away, and even his son. As the case is ongoing.
That is scary. Yeah,
I don't feel comfortable regarding this. I'm like, what if Dr. Mbazani is a crucial witness for the defense? So you are hijacking the witness in advance. How does this work exactly? Is this even like allowed? Like, it just feels so wrong. It's the reason, part of the reason why people are afraid of testifying in court is this kind of thing.
The access the police have, let's say you are to testify against them, as this case seems to be at some point pointing to that direction. I mean, this is my opinion. And then the very same person comes and investigates you. How is that supposed to be? And what is it that are they seeking to achieve? If one might even speculate, intimidation. We know where you stay.
We know where you live. We know your family. I mean, he even managed to track down his son. So is Dr. Mudise safe?
No, it's look, we don't know what Dr. Mudise is gonna be, whether it was Dr. Mudise who gave that information or whatnot.
Or not.
Yeah, so but I think there is a point where investigation should be paused.
During trial, this trial is ongoing. Some things
because
should be
from there, it can never be
unethical.
called an investigation, but maybe it should be called as intimidation.
No, this feels cringy. It feels wrong. It doesn't feel right. It's just now I get why Senzo Meyiwa was upset at the mentioning of this whole Longwe being shot on the foot situation.
Yeah.
Now I get why
to
he was
understand.
upset.
Yes, you get to understand why.
This is really scary, looking at how over the weekend investigations had been done. People are tracked and traced just because they
were
are
mentioned somewhere.
opposing the narrative that the
Or
police
not
have.
opposing the narrative, but they were mentioned somewhere. Let us put it like that. Let us try not to be just biased. They are just saying something that was not looked at.
They were tracked and traced.
Not to say that they are the ones that said that. I'm just saying the name being called out. And I would assume that it was on purpose for Mngomezulu to mention the name, more so for someone who has already passed away. It was just to keep you busy, in my opinion. You shift the goalposts, forgot to understand how Mngomezulu got that information. You chased on what Mngomezulu said.
Well, the judge asked which year it was, and Gininda said that he didn't have those details, and the judge asked, find that out. Yeah, find that out. Now that I'm reflecting back, he actually did find it out. Before adjournment, he didn't have the details of Dr. Mbazani, and then after the short adjournment, after the judge insisted, find it out. find that out. Find out which year it was when he passed.
I do not understand
Now I'm
what
like,
material does it make finding out when the person passed away. Because I'm saying this because there's been inconsistencies in asking about people who have passed away. Like for instance, Lovu, the neighbor, and others that have passed away. None of these questions have been asked. So say find that out. What is it trying? What is the judge trying to achieve? If someone has passed away and there's a proof that they've passed away, you finding out what are you trying to achieve?
Well, Gininda promised that he will get it before tea time, and he said that his members are there. So the judge said Stuart Mbatsani, and Gininda said that he was in Diepkloof. Apparently he was practicing in Diepkloof and he passed away, and Gininda promised that he will get it, and he is liaising with his son directly once he has it. So Stuart Mbatsani, I didn't even remember advocate, or rather Mr. Mngomezulu, mentioning Stuart, the name.
He just said
Dr.
some Mbatsani.
Mbatsani.
But for them, they went for Stuart
Mbatsani.
It's very fun. Why? How did they know that is Stuart that Mngomezulu was referring to?
And actually, it's the judge mentioning the name Stuart. It's very like... And Tina, as the court of public opinion, we were watching all of this and we're like, but judge, where did you get the name Stuart?
He's saying he stayed there. Yeah, he knows those doctors and whatnot. Something that has always baffled me. The mentioning of some of these people, or mentioning or assisting in a sense, because I think at some point it played a certain part, like a confirmation. It's like a confirmation. You need to listen to evidence as if you don't know anything about it.
Yes.
Once you start talking about, I know this one, I used to practice with that one, something that you, maybe if you are interested in telling us about what you have achieved in your journey, you can tell us after giving the judgment. But these things such as this one, it makes it seem as if the judge was happy to hear that, okay, it's a doctor that I know.
Hey.
He, to such an extent that he forgot to ask, how did you know that was the doctor that Mngomezulu was talking about? Because he talked about some Banzan.
Well, Gininda promised that he will get it, and he said that he was liaising with his son directly once he has it. Baloyi then went to the tracker report that was compiled by Miss Maria Pistorius, who's already testified regarding a VW Polo Vivo 1.4. Today we got the registration number, CM42HKGP. It was read to the record.
Which Polo Vivo is that one?
It doesn't have a color, but we're going to assume it's Longwe Twala's one.
Okay. The one that becomes the person at some point.
And Baloyi then said, can we also exhibit a triple P, the tracker report compiled by Pistorius? They asked him to go to page 46, and the time that he mentioned was 18:57:29 on the 26th of October 2014. It showed the vehicle arrived at the address in the 5th column, and Gininda said the entry was Gutwanong Street in Vosloorus. 20:46:13, Gutwanong Street, ignition was on. 20:49:41, still at Gutwanong Street, but the vehicle was in motion. It said moving. 20:49:30, location is Lesedi Street, Vosloorus, and the car is moving. 20:57:30, the location is Sam Sikwati Avenue in Vosloorus. 21:04:09, and Brigadier Gininda said that it's Sam Sikwati Avenue, ignition off. And Baloyi said it's already on record that it's at clinics, and it shows the vehicle was there from 21:04:09 until 23:12:16. Gininda said that at 23:12:16, it showed vehicle is still at Sam Sikwati Avenue, and it was now moving. 23:12:10, the location was Gutwanong Street, Vosloorus, and it said ignition off. And then the vehicle goes back to Kutwanong Street at the crime scene. So this location is that of the crime scene. So it means the vehicle went back to the crime scene, according to Brigadier Gininda. So Baloyi then said, and the vehicle stayed there until 02/1959. And Gininda said the vehicle was still at Kutwanong Street, and then the vehicle switched on. Baloyi asked Gininda for a comment on the vehicle staying at Kutwanong Street from 23/22/10 up until 2/19/00. He asked him, do you have any comment on the version put by Mr. Mngomezulu? And Gininda said that he didn't want to speculate.
And then he speculated.
He goes on to speculate. He said he didn't want to speculate, but one would assume if someone is injured and went back to the crime scene, then it is expected that there will be blood at the crime scene. So if for some reason they miss it the first time, and then the same person goes back to the second time and stays for a period of more than 2 hours, it's very peculiar that there would be no blood spots found to show that there was some blood that matches him that was foreign for that matter.
Listen to this reasoning.
It doesn't make sense.
This is someone who's an investigator. Someone who's expected to think, amongst other things.
Yes.
Deep.
Yes.
Look at things deep.
Yes.
Okay, the car went back there. Okay,
Yes.
it's fine. Now, the submission we are making in terms of there should be blood of that person there, they are just speculations. More than it, just pure speculations. And I'm saying this because, first of all, the place was cordoned off. That's what the police are saying. So people were not allowed within that house. That's what at least were told for that day and the following day, right?
Yes, yes.
So now, are you saying that that place was contaminated already? In fact, people were just moving in and out, because that's an assumption that you're making. So therefore, you are even saying Longwe, if he was the one, in fact, there's many if he was the one driving that car, he should have walked to that house so that you'll be able to pick up the blood that he left. That's what you are saying. What if he went there and parked the car and stayed on the car? Did you check the car?
No, I doubt.
Was the car available for checking?
I doubt.
Was it ever checked upon the investigation?
No.
No, right?
No.
Thank you. So your speculations are just mere speculations. Again, showing the site in which you sit, the site where you think that these people who are here are guilty, and that's what you are doing. You are by all means trying, even in this court, you cannot even help yourself by not being biased. You are standing there, you are biased. You are casting aspersions that are seemingly supporting your narrative.
And you know what the worst thing is? As an investigator, he's completely dismissing the allegation of Mapiri mopping and cleaning and whatnot. He's acting like it never happened.
Did they find Zandi's blood?
No.
So they couldn't find Zandi's blood.
And that was not suspicious at all. Like, as an investigator, you walk into a scene where someone was shot in the chest and he protruded the lungs. And then there's drops, this drizzle and drops, this just drops of blood. As an investigator who deals with these types of cases, people getting shot all the time. When someone gets shot
Zandi goes and hides on the toilet. But the only point where you find Zandi's DNA is on the buckle. The toilet that he got in, no. You find the mother's. That is not suspicious to you.
I mean, on that point alone, for the mere fact that the deceased blood, it cannot be located. That, as an investigator, it must give you some type of anxiety as to what did these people do? Where is the blood? Where is it? Did you even care to know what had happened to the deceased blood?
He was not there.
As an investigator.
Well, it is what it is. We are just looking at the things that are happening with regards to this case. And also, we are talking about seasoned investigators here.
Seasoned, experienced. They dealt with high-profile cases.
Which makes one wonder. You know, you don't want to think otherwise about the people. More so about the crash in everyone cases. But which makes one wonder. It leaves one with a lot of questions as to say, is this how investigation is done, and the thinking behind, the logic behind the investigation, such as big cases. We are talking about cases of huge magnitude.
Huge. Big, huge.
Right.
And I am baffled. I'm baffled as to I'm not an investigator or anything, but I would be very suspicious as the crime scene is being described to me, that there were sprinkles.
It will be very suspicious, yes, indeed.
Then Baloyi then said on the 27th at 2:41:37 the vehicle was at Grasvloei Liefde and Vrede, and Gininda said that this address is where the deceased was residing. It's where they were renting with Kelly Khumalo, so I'm guessing it's the place at Malbatten where they said Senzo Meyiwa's flat was, and he was staying there with Kelly Khumalo at the time. So Baloyi then said, we see that the vehicle stayed there up until 3:41:20, and Gininda confirmed this to be Grasvloei Crescent, Liefde and Vrede, ignition off, GPS unlock. 3:56:22, the location is Sleepview Road, Liefde and Vrede, status, the car is moving. At 3:55:38, location, Procedural, Liefde and Vrede, moving. So confirmation is that Longwe's car went to the place at Malbatten in the AMs around 2. Longwe's car went there at Malbatten.
Which is very scary, because what did Tumelo say?
Tumelo said that Chico arrived and offered Ukeli a holiday. How can we forget
When was that?
That was very bombastic.
When was that?
It was after the incident, in those early hour mornings. Not really, the time was not really given, but we kind of got the picture that it was around those times.
Exactly.
Well, at 3:55:38, Grasvloei left.
And what I'm trying to say is that Tumelo never mentioned Longwe living with them, or
being
even
in their
being in their presence.
He mentioned Chico.
He never mentioned
who offered a holiday.
The only person who's common, it was Chico being mentioned. We don't know the time. We don't know anything. But upon his testimony, he never mentioned we were with Longwe. We talked about Zande.
Yes.
Talked about Kelly.
Yes.
Talked
Never
about the mother.
Longwe.
The mother was there, right?
Yes.
Talked about the mother, and then who else? Togo left. That's what he said. Togo left. So those are the people who went. He was asked about this thing. Those are the people who went to the house.
And the arrival of Chico Twala
was never mentioned. Now, what are they making of that? Are they saying that, again, to me, is lying, same as Zande?
Perhaps.
It's okay, because it's their witnesses.
Perhaps they are planning on contradicting these nitty-gritties in the future. Who knows? They've already started with Zandi. And if this one also becomes a problem, there's a possibility that it may be worked on in the future. So at 4:03:21, Heidelberg Place, Glen Vista, Johannesburg, ignition off. And he was asked if he was able to establish who lives at this address. And Gininda said, yes, it used to be the property belonging to Mr. Longwetwala's father. So he was residing there. It's a family property, according to Brigadier Gininda. At 7:15:17, location is Kumisa Street, Glen Vista, Johannesburg, and the car is moving. 7:26:8, KB Bella Road, Malbatten. And he went on putting the records, Longwetwala's vehicle, the movement on the 27th, and then at 9:05:24.
And what is very scary is that what the insinuation is trying to drive here is that Longwe was still able to drive even during the day. That's what they are, which is very scary because we have traversed that direction in terms of the cell phone and everything. So what makes them think that that was Longwe driving that car?
I do not know. I don't know.
The
Because
level of
me in my picture, I don't see Longwe driving the car in my head. I don't see it. But the state is saying the movement of the car is Longwe moving. They are saying that, and they've concluded that, and they're placing that as evidence. That's that. But proof as to whether it was him in the car has not been provided. It's not there. We must speculate, and we must assume. And
in no certain terms, they can actually give us that evidence, or even give someone to testify on that, because, well, they have concluded their evidence. As far as their evidence is concerned, they ignored the crucial part, which is what now they are trying to do: close that loophole. That Longwe was supposed to come himself and tell us what happened
and
in that fateful night.
Yes.
But they are assuming because of the car, therefore.
Well, at 9:05,
we don't even know if Longwe was driving alone or had people. A proper investigation would have clarified that.
And not left us with so many questions now. We are hearing Bomal Button in the AMs. So now we're left to speculate even more. There's a lot of room for speculation. The more you keep putting the movement of this Polo Vivo without the owner or the person purported to have been driving the vehicle on that night to come and testify for themselves, it leaves more room for speculation.
Let's like the video, guys. Let's press the like button. 435, 192 that I see on my side. Please press that like button until 300. Thank you very much.
Then 9:05:24 Heidelberg Place, Glen Vista, ignition off. 9:19:58 Tababusiu Avenue, Glen Vista. Then at 9:52:32 Gutlandong Street, Vosloorus, the car was moving. 9:53:08 Gutlandong Street, ignition was off. 16:32 location was still Gutlandong Street, stop at GPS unlock. I'm going to make an example here. So now from 9 up until 4, you are saying that his car was parked at Gutlandong Street.
Yeah.
So are we going to take a few steps back and recall them being actually called to the police station to go and, I think it was the pointing out or the time for affidavits or stuff. There was a time in the 27th where they all had to do that.
Yes.
So now are we going to assume that wherever Longwe goes, his car goes? Because now you're telling us that it was at Gutlandong Street, while evidence has been given in court that they all had to go to the police station on that day specifically to go and write statements.
Very good observation.
So 16:34:38 Brickfield Road, Spruit View, Katlehong. The car was moving, and then Baloyi asked. Ms. Pistorius testified that the vehicle was in Gutlandong Street from 9:52:32 until 16:32:27, a period of just under 6.5 hours. Now, given the movement of this vehicle and the time he spent at the crime scene on the 27th, it's almost 6.5 hours. what is your comment on Mr. Mngomezulu's proposition regarding Mr. Longwetwala? Gininda said you would have expected some form of blood left there. Someone would have said Mr. Longwetwala was injured. There's also no statement in the docket which says that he was shot. The only person who was shot
was the
deceased.
He had to investigate it.
And the person who was injured, according to the statement, was Zandi. There is no evidence in the docket which states that Mr. Longwetwala was injured on the 26th of October 2014. In addition, in as far as we know, a 9mm was used and not a revolver.
Wow. And yet in your statement you wrote a revolver.
In his statement, the one he shared in the trial within a trial, he mentioned a revolver.
Hey.
This is a mess.
And you had all the time to correct it.
And then Tumelo changed. 2014 it was a revolver. And then 2018 he writes another statement as Brigadier Gininda enters and becomes the lead investigator of the case. He changes his mind to Tumela. It wasn't a revolver I saw.
It was a gun with the wheel.
It wasn't a gun with a wheel anymore. That part was scrapped out and he wrote a new statement.
Hey! Yabona case ukudlaliwe ngathi angifuna ukukutshela manga. Mina le case ukudlaliwe ngathi bafethu. Kodwa ke we will take what we are given.
So the judge asked, did Longwetwala make any statements? And Gininda said yes, 3 or more. The state has never read these statements into the record.
No.
3 of them.
We are probably about to discover them when the defense is cross-examining. 3
or more from Longwetwala. And the state does not want to use them. Or at least one. Well, the judge said, and did he mention being shot? Gininda said no. Nor did any of the people inside the house. They didn't say that. So,
Judge, you could be asking the man himself.
He doesn't want to hear from him.
Not the PR. You know, no.
He doesn't want to hear from the man himself. So it's at this moment that Advocate Ndisi apparently entered court. So he did make it. I recall seeing him during the adjournment and stuff. So he did eventually make it to court. So Baloyi took Gininda to the application of the Section 205, which Colonel Stein worked on with the investigating team, and the information of accused number 3's phone was applied for the 7th of October 2015. A picture of firearms from the cell phone number 3 was beamed in court, and it was for the number 072-766-8169. The requester was by Constable Dlamini or Sergeant Masondo. Brigadier Gininda said that he was not sure. And he said that it is of significance because it covers the period when the incident on the 16th of October took place, and the number associated with accused number 3 is located in Vosloorus on that specific day. And Baloyi asked him, we already referred to communication that was referred to by Colonel Halls by accused number 3 and 5, and Gininda said that was correct. Now Baloyi turned to Exhibit S, photo number 38. It was a picture of firearms from the cell phone of accused number 3, and it was beamed in court. Gininda also gave downloads from accused number 2's phone. Baloyi asked for Gininda's comment regarding that, and Gininda said that it was a black rifle and a pistol on a car seat. The picture from accused number 2's phone is the same as the picture from accused number 3's downloads or cell phone downloads. The photos on the downloads from accused number 3 and photos from that exhibit 38, which came from accused number 2 in particular, was also found on the same, it was a similar picture that they're purporting that was found on accused number 3. And then it was found again on accused number 2's cell phone downloads. And I'm like, how? So you did cell phone downloads for accused number 2's phone? They did photo downloads for accused number 2. And we get to find this out now as you extract a similar picture to that of accused number 3. So Baloyi then said, refer to Ho's affidavit. Gininda said that it's the same picture of the rifle automatic. It looks like an R5 in observation and a black pistol in a seat of a vehicle. He said this picture is also found in the downloads of a cell phone associated with accused number 3. And Baloyi then asked him that on the left-hand side is the downloads of the phone of accused number 2. There's a blue arrow there, and Gininda said, yes, the pictures are the same. He said he had the privilege to see them even prior to this. The photos on the downloads of accused 2 is the same photo as the one that was found on accused number 3's photo number 8 exhibit. I'm trying to envision this. So, accused number 3 is arrested 2015. Cell phone downloads are done, right? These pictures are extracted. We've seen them being narrated and quoted. And yes, accused number 3 is currently incarcerated for a crime that he committed that is of taking out somebody.
Yeah.
Then Bongani Ntanzi is arrested in 2020. They are saying he had his phone with him while he was incarcerated. That's the investigating team's side of the story, right? Bongani Ntanzi is saying, no, they took my phone when they arrested me. They even took my sister's phone, right? And they are saying, okay, has he had the phone with him? We did downloads on the phone. And then we found a similar picture, which was extracted from accused number 3's phone in 2015. A similar picture now in 2020 is found in accused number 2's phone. Guess what? Not only is it found, but later on we find that it was deleted and extracted. So it was deleted in accused number 2's phone, and then with their skills, it was recovered. It's a movie, like
it's a show.
Gininda continued after the short adjournment with the pictures from accused number 3's phone, and Gininda read from the photo album that is another picture that was deleted, that was recovered from the downloads. So now they can recover deleted pictures. Now they can do it. They can, yes. For this particular case of accused number 2, they extracted deleted pictures. So they're trying to tell us that accused number 2 had the same phone, the same picture that accused number 3 had in 2015, right? Mind you, accused number 2 said that they took his phone when they arrested him.
Yeah.
And Sergeant Mokhani denied keeping that phone with him in his possession and said that Bongani Ntanzi had it in his cell.
They had their time where they took it for downloads, remember? After they found it with him on the cell.
And they recovered deleted stuff.
I guess so.
Well, then Baloyi said it was put to Sergeant Mokhani that accused number 2's phone was taken from him after his arrest. And he asked him, did you find anything related to this? And Gininda said, no, I could not find such. So an esteemed investigator did not care to find an accused's cell phone after they arrested him. It wasn't of importance when he was arrested. Okay, got it. Gininda then said if Ntanzi's phone was seized the day that he was arrested, then it would have been entered into the SAP 13 register. Gininda said that there would also be an OB entry saying that SAP 13 number would be written, as well as the case number. And if the cell phone was seized, not as an exhibit, if it's not forming part of the case, then it would be entered in prisoner's property register. Now, I have a question. Why would they enter it into the prisoner property register while they were moving him from police station to police station to police station to police station?
It's a blooper.
Then he said the receipt for this property would be given to the suspect because it's his property, and when it is needed, then it would be released to the suspect. So,
like the ID with condition.
With condition. So, hypothetically speaking, or I'm speculating here, not entering the phone into the SAP 13, wouldn't it have given whoever had access to the phone to do whatever they want to do with the phone?
It would.
The freedom to just work on the phone until such time that they're ready.
With no accountability.
No accountability. I'm just asking. It's a question I have. And remember, there was a picture that was edited in short, the app in short. Do you guys remember that whole situation? So Gininda then said, now when I followed this information on the day on which the accused was arrested, the 16th of June 2020, detained in Pretoria, there were no such properties and such entries in the OB SAP 13 and SAP 22. He said that he struggled to find it, but in the OB, where all activities are recorded, there was no such entry, but in the SAP 13 as well, it was not booked as an exhibit. Later, they were able to find the cell phone with Warrant Officer Ndlovu, the DPCI team that works with downloadings. If that phone was seized on the 16th, it would have been booked on the SAP 13 register, and that is how it was supposed to be processed, and there was no such. Oh, and another thing about that picture of the rifle on the car seat or on the what, here we are being led to speculate that those firearms were the firearms that were used during the incident or something, because he was saying that the downloads of accused number 3, the picture was for the date of the 26th of October. I don't know how many of you guys picked it up, but it's almost like we were being led to believe that they took pictures of their firearms just before they went to the house and said cell phones and money. There were rifles there and pistols on the car seat. So Baloyi went on to the cross-examination of Mr. Ramasipili to Mr. Hlophe, or about Mr. Hlophe, my apologies, on the 15th of April 2024. Gininda read the part where accused number 2 had instructed Mr. Ramasipili and told him to tell the court that he was never found with a cell phone. He wanted to phone his family. He wanted to phone his kids. If he was in possession of a cell phone, he could have done that before the police even discovered that cell phone, which I believe, I'm more inclined to believe that you would call for help, okay, if you had a cell phone in your possession. Then on the 19th of June 2020, he was taken to the Vosloorus Magistrate Court, but the matter was not enrolled. The matter was not enrolled.
Underline that.
When they were supposed to let him go, okay, they accompanied him to Rustenburg. This is them. He had no charge now. They went back with him to Rustenburg, and as they went back, they conducted a search. And then they found a black plastic bag with ammunition in his place of residence. This is just me reminding you guys if you have forgotten that piece of evidence. Then they opened another case against him with that black plastic bag with ammunition. Okay. And they said that they were looking for a jersey or a hoodie, and they didn't find a hoodie, but they found what? A black plastic bag of ammunition. When they were supposed to let him go, because why? The charges, the case was not enrolled. The matter was not enrolled. They did not let him go. And when they searched his place of residence and they found the ammunition.
They got the ammunition
in a black plastic bag.
The black plastic bag.
Then Baloyi said that he traveled to Tlhabani to search his room. Then ammunition was found and he was charged for that. Gininda said yes, but he said that he was not inside when the search was conducted. Of course not. He said he was outside. But
Stay
yes,
far, play far.
ammunition was found. He was processed accordingly, and he made his first appearance on Monday, the 22nd of June 2020. Baloyi then said, then he later was taken to Tlokwe for an examination, or Dr. Tlokwe, the dentist who purported to be a general practitioner or a doctor who examines people for scars all over their bodies. And yet he was a dentist. They took him there. He came and even testified to that effect in court. Yes, that he did not see injuries. He was examining accused number 2, looking for injuries. If they were there, he would have found them. For case 636, investigations were being done for 636 at this current moment.
Yeah.
And yet they had arrested him for something else. Ammunition in a plastic bag.
Remember,
but they were
keep
doing
them on the side.
investigations for 636.
They were keeping them on the side for this case.
Yes. So Baloyi
That's
asked,
what he said.
That's what he said, yes. Baloyi asked Gininda to put on record the proceedings of the 15th of April 2024, where Ramasipili told the court that accused number 2's cell phone was taken with his sister's white cell phone when he was arrested by Mohani and Sergeant Mabena on the 16th of June 2020. And Baloyi said that the reference was made to Mr. Hlophe's statement in these proceedings, which was not properly commissioned. Now Baloyi is saying that Mr. Hlophe's statement was not properly commissioned.
You know, the funny thing is that they had many of those statements.
4 of them. 3 or 4
They
of
chose
them.
the one that was not properly commissioned by the team that is currently heading this case, spearheading this case. I heard that.
Wow. He was asking him, was it the only statement he made in these proceedings? Gininda said that there were about 3 statements, and this is the 4th one. He said his recollection of the docket, there are 3 other statements, and he said he was present when one was taken. It was not even taken by himself. There's nothing that... He's not there when they are doing the search.
But he knows.
But he knows. He's not there when the statement for Mr. Hlophe was taken.
Briefed.
But he's briefed. And it was not even taken by him. It was taken by his colleague.
But he knows.
But he was present. And at that stage, he had no knowledge of what the docket contained. But subsequent to him now being appointed as the lead investigating officer, then he realized that there were other statements in the docket, and he thinks that there were about 3 and 4, and he said this particular one is the 4th one. This is when now I started picking up that, did he say he was there prior to being appointed?
We are buffering currently. Guys, please like the video. Please.
Was he there prior to being appointed as the so-called lead investigator of this case? So he was there in the background to Brigadier Gininda, working on this case prior to being made the lead investigator of the case? Is that what is happening here, Mr. Anonymous?
I don't know.
He is telling us that he was there prior to 2018. And if you guys don't believe me, let's continue. Gininda said if not 4, maximum is 3. But he knows that there are other statements other than the one that was taken in his presence. This is the statement that is alleged to have been stolen by him from the rumor mill to the rumor streets. It's allegedly, and even Senzo Meyiwa was alleging that there was a statement that has been stolen. And he went as far to say it was stolen by Brigadier Gininda. Allegedly. We don't know that. But this is the statement that has been the subject of 636. So Baloyi then said this statement was taken in your presence. When was it? And Gininda said that 2016, 2017. This is clearly prior to 2018, because 2018 is when he says he was appointed as the lead investigator of the Senzo Meyiwa case. And of course, we even see Zungu's testimony popping up from as early as 2018. So 2016, 2017, Brigadier Gininda was in the background collecting statements from Mr. Hlophe and stuff in the presence of, he wasn't doing it, of course, he was accompanying, but he was there. And he said, before I was appointed lead investigator, and he said that he will check the exact date of when this happened. So Baloyi then asked him, can you explain the circumstances the statement was taken under? And Gininda said, around that period were about 9 officers. He says they were about 9 officers. We were sent by the then head of detectives, General Nkomo, to the family to update on the status of the case. Do you recall, guys, how when it was brought up that there had been many investigators that were working on this case, close to or even above 40 investigators, Brigadier Gininda downplayed it so much in the trial within a trial? Do you guys remember that? He made it seem like it's just something that Mr. Mngomezulu was making up. So he's now saying that there were about 9 officers that were sent to the Meyiwa family. 9. By the then head of detectives, General Nkomo, to the family to update on the status of the case. And it seems that there was a planned visit that was supposed to be made by the head of detectives, which then was the National Commissioner General Pahlani, who was at NATCOM, to go and update the family with the progress of the case at that time. So this is quite interesting information. Gininda then said when they arrived at the deceased home in those interactions, they met the father, who was still alive, and the mother and siblings. So in that interaction, it was brought to their attention. The family was concerned as to why it's so difficult to solve this case, why the matter was taking so long, because it came to their attention that Mr. Tumelo Madlala gave Mr. Hlophe, the brother-in-law of Senzo Meyiwa, information that Senzo was mistakenly shot. Gininda said that for him, it was crucial information that needed to be followed. He said they then asked to be introduced to Mr. Hlophe, and that was done. He said that Mr. Hlophe's claim, he calls it a claim, that he heard Tumelo Madlala that Senzo was shot by mistake was made as early as 2015, but it was denied by Mr. Madlala. The statement was then taken by the late Captain Mabuti, and it was the whole that moved from the deceased home to the home of Mr. Hlophe. The whole investigating team, they moved from the Meyiwa family's home to Mr. Hlophe's home. It was then refuted by Mr. Madlala. There was resistance, according to Brigadier Gininda, at the beginning when they tried to interview him, because at that stage, Brigadier Modise, who is also late, was the investigating officer. So Brigadier Modise was another one of the investigating officer for this 636 case, and he has passed on. So he says that Brigadier Modise was not aware of who they were, so he did not want to cooperate with them. So this is Tumelo now. They are saying that he didn't want to cooperate because he only knew Brigadier Modise. But the essence was to confirm what has been said by Mr. Hlophe, which was refuted. But there was some mistrust by Mr. Madlala at some time. So Advocate Baloyi now at this time highlighted to Brigadier Gininda that this is very crucial. What was Mr. Madlala's reaction to these allegations? And Gininda said that Mr. Madlala denied it. He said that he never said it. If that's the case, then where is the Section 205 of Mr. Madlala, please? Did you look at it? Did you care for it? Did you even look for it? Did you even look for it to see if it aligned? There's a phone call that was made to Mr. Hlophe or not. I mean, this could easily be solved instead of us being left to speculate like this. Where's the Section 205 of Mr. Madlala? Then he referred them to the IO to say that he doesn't know who you are. He says, I know Mr. Mudise, speak to him. This was Tumelo at the time, according to Brigadier Gininda, giving them that sense that he didn't want to talk to them. He didn't know who they were. He said he was getting a lot of threats and all manner of things. It was clear that he was refusing, that he never said that. Why would anybody threaten Tumelo to say that Mr. Hlophe called him? Where's the section 205? This can be easily debunked if it's the case. You know what I'm saying? So that affidavit was then filed in the docket. It was later indexed by Brigadier Gininda, and he said that at a later stage, because they were in KZN, they had to deal with this allegation that there was a missing statement. He said he submitted a statement to say that he said that the statement was never misplaced. It was made by Mr. Hlophe, by Captain Mabuti, who also made a statement at the time he was still alive to confirm. So Captain Mabuti Nai is also passed on.
Hey, hayi bahamba abantu kule case.
To confirm that it was him who made that statement in his own handwriting. It was at a later stage attached to the docket. It was in the docket. It had been there in the docket even when they were done with the instruction that they received, and it was still in the docket as they speak today. So subsequent to them following those few things, he says that he knows that the matter was then assigned to General Shibiri, and thereafter he came on board. This is now when they were appointed. He received the docket during the handing over process. The statement was still in the docket, and he said up to today it is still in the docket. And he said all the other statements that were made by Mr. Hlophe are still in the docket. In fact, if you look at this matter that is before the court, all the affidavits disposed from 2014 to date, there's not a single affidavit that is missing. Later, when I had now the privilege to analyze the docket, Brigadier Gininda said, as the lead investigator, that's when I realized that there was a similar statement made by Mr. Hlophe right at the beginning of the investigation team. I think the date was around 2015 or so, which didn't yield any results because it was refused by Mr. Tumelo as early as 2015. So they're saying Tumelo Madlala denied that Mr. Hlophe called him as early as 2015. And he says he thinks because of the changing of hands by investigators whenever the families, this is his assumption. Now he was speculating again. He says he will go to introduce themselves as protocol to the family. I think this issue will be raised because if you look at this statement, it is basically saying the same thing. It was dealt with as early as 2015 by the first investigation team with no results, fast-tracking to where I got involved. Same thing was refuted when I was now officially appointed as the lead investigating officer. He says he revisited the same issue with Mr. Madlala. He still refuted it. And after he was appointed as the lead investigating officer, AfriForum came on board as watching brief for the family. And this is one of the aspects that he explained to them, that the belief that there is a missing statement is not correct. The statement is still in the docket. It is still available, and it was followed up by hearsay. The only person who could have confirmed it is Mr. Madlala, who then refuted that he ever said that. So Advocate Baloyi then asked him, do you know if this statement was disclosed to the defense with the rest of the docket? And Gininda said yes, because they made copies of the entire docket. They made copies of all statements in the docket. But if there's any misunderstanding in that regard, they're still available in the docket. So Baloyi then asked him, finally, Brigadier Gininda, you have immersed all the evidence that happened, what happened thereafter. And Brigadier Gininda said that after their investigation, the docket was then taken to the DPP in North Gauteng, Church Street, with a memorandum summarizing all the investigation that had been done. Evidence collected that was as early as October 2020, between the 20th and the 23rd, an indictment, a decision was taken by the DPP, a decision was taken to arraign this accused. He says he then applied for a warrant of arrest at Boksburg Magistrate Court. Then on the 26th of October 2020, the warrants were executed. The first appearance was on the 27th of October. The date on which the statement of Mr. Hlophe was taken by Captain Maputi is the 27th of October 2016. So Gininda also said that the date of the docket was taken to the DPP was the 29th of January 2020. But the context is that it was the first time it was taken to the DPP in Church Street. So prior to that matter was sitting in Johannesburg DPP. It was there numerous times. But after the detective was taken that it must be dealt with by the North Gauteng DPP, it was then taken that day, the 29th of January 2020 for the first time. So between the 29th of January 2020 and 23rd of October 2020, Advocate Baloyi asked Brigadier Gininda what was happening, and Brigadier Gininda said that there was interaction between a prosecutorial guided investigation. The advocates that were involved were Advocate Baloyi, Advocate Leonard, and Advocate Mahwata. Those were the state advocates that were assisting in the matter. He said that when he got a lead, he would share and get guidance on what he should pursue. It was an interaction between the police and the NPA, right up until the time when the matter was ready for court. So it means Advocate Baloyi was the one guiding Brigadier Gininda in this messy investigation. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, in a sense.
Then Baloyi asked him, do you have anything to say? Gininda said, I just want to confirm, have you received the death certificate of Dr. Mbatsani? So it turns out Dr. Mbatsani passed away on the 11th of April 2023 while this trial was ongoing, guys. At Helen Joseph Hospital, the reason cited was natural causes, and Baloyi had stopped him from sharing the part about the cause of death being natural causes. Then Gininda said that he perused the document that he received from the government hospital, and the court was correct that it was Terra Mahulwane Hospital in Vosloorus, as Judge Mokgwatleng had previously asked if he looked at that particular hospital for Dr. Mbatsani. Then the judge said that as a matter of interest, he attended the naming because 1982 he defended Terra Mohwanani, Buthelezi and others. They were sentenced to death in that court, charged with treason, etc., etc. After the changeover, his uncle was also an ANC operative and he was appointed the Major General. Then they decided that the hospital would be named after Terra, and he says he was there, Terra Mohwarani. Tello. Apparently his name is not even Terra, it's Tello Mohwarani. My apologies, Tello Mohwarani. So Baloyi then turned to the admissions made by Ramasipil on behalf of Ntanzi by Vodacom expert Pinky Fine-Tillingam, and this is in relation to Ntanzi's communication with a number belonging to the girlfriend. Ramasipil accepted those numbers of accused number 2 as well as that of the former girlfriend on behalf of accused number 2. And the judge did mention that the JP was there and he had checked on them. After Ramasipili said that due to Mngomezulu's ill health, he would not be able to cross-examine and he had to go through voluminous work. He said that he would like to start his cross-examination on Thursday. The defense had no problem with it, and the judge said that it was only fair to grant the defense until the 7th to go through the evidence. They estimated the pages that they need to go through to be over 40,000 from the time that the case started. Remember, Brigadier Gininda is the lead investigator, and as a result, he needs to be cross-examined on everything that has happened ever since the state presented its case, not just limited to what he's been sharing over the last week, but the entire case overall, because he's the lead investigator.
Yeah, Emily, thank you very much. Say Vala we are closing like that. I see even the likes are not liking today, so Vele asinayo into esingathi sidlalela kakhulu Emily. Let's just thank
see
people who
on
were
the
here.
chat.
Mpengwa, Kilebohile, thank you very much. Didi Talks, thank you. Sizwe 18, thank you. Mamelo Skunana, thank you. Thokozi Silanga, thank you. Lindiwe, thank you. Sfiso Sindan, thank you. Sfiso Madonzela, thank you. Stembile Mkwanaz, thank you. Dokas Shabalala, thank you. Sipomnisi, Ayanza, thank you. Jennifer Kuzwayo, thank you. Mujalifa, thank you. G Moodley, thank you. Mlambo Designs, thank you. Just going down, Jabulile, thank you very much. Messi number 2, thank you. Chugu Anna, thank you. Fundi G, thank you. Guys, the likes is like we have 280. I see people are calling. I'm just gonna go through this and then I'm gonna go try to go home and sleep. And again,
guys, like the video.
Masiabelo, thank you. Lindiwe, I've mentioned you. Chuku Anna, I've mentioned you. Dan, I've mentioned you. Latita, thank you. Latita, thank you. Let's see. Brendan Gamer, thank you. Yeah, people are calling. Please push the video, guys. Sizwe 18, thank you.
People have a lot to say.
I know. WS, our member, thank you very much. Gaby, thank you very much.
And thank you for the super chats, guys. Thank you. I just
Nzansi, hello.
Right now, thank you so much.
I thought I was gonna take one. Unfortunately, it dropped. Tembelan Kanye, Gaby, our member, also thank you. Marshall, Maruf, thank you. Blessing Mabana, thank you. Blazivere, I have to prepare. So, Net.
Guys, please like the video. Please wake up. If you're sleeping, wake up.
Net, thank you very much.
Press the like button.
And Net, I hope you see your the headsets that you've been.
Net, do you see them? We got them connected, Net.
They are connected.
They are connected. Do you see your headsets? Do you see them?
And thank you very much for these beautiful headsets.
They are cool.
Tembelan Kanye, thank you. Let's see here. A minute is enough. Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello.
Hi, Mr. Ano, good evening. How are you? Good morning.
I'm alright, sir. How are you?
All right, man. Morning, Emily.
Morning.
No, man. Mine is just a short one.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know, is it possible for the defense to call Longwe?
Yes.
To come and explain himself about the car moving? Because for now, what we know is just the car moving. We don't know the driver.
Yes, if it's available. If
they'll be
able to find it.
There is a problem here. Remember that court allegation that Longwe was going through the stealing of his father's equipment.
Yes.
So now there's what you call the arrest for Longwe.
Yeah.
Because he skipped the court date.
Yes.
So his AOL nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
So now I'm asking myself, if then it's like that, and then the defense wants to call him, well, what's going to happen if he is not found?
Nothing. They're going to have to continue with their case.
So it will be like if he can be found at all, then his evidence is like not actually important, or
it will be the way Gininda puts it. The way Gininda puts it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Now you know what? I'll listen because I can't hear you properly.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I'll listen to on YouTube for your explanation.
Not a problem.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling.
Yeah. So if it doesn't appear obvious, it's Gininda's weight against anybody's weight. It's a minute. Let's push the likes button, guys. It's a minute. Let's make it quick, short, and nice. Mzansi, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm all right, sir. How are you doing?
Emily.
Yes,
hi.
good.
Once again, guys, excellent work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But I just have one question.
Okay.
And please stop me as early as possible if I might have missed whereby this point I want to raise was addressed.
Yeah.
Okay.
But my question is around the matter of the point that was once testified about by the forensic investigator Mangena, whereby he suggested that the defragmentation of the bullet that actually hit the floor in that house might have injured anyone that would have been close enough to where the shot took place. As a result, they went to look at the accused's feet in jail as part of the investigation.
Yes.
They even emphasized that, I think it's accused number 3, whereby before he took his shoes off, he even said he has injuries that he sustained when he was playing soccer back at Kwanongoma.
Yes.
I would like to know as to whether the same kind of investigation was done on the people that were actually in the house. The reason for this question is if it has somehow surfaced that Ulongwe shot himself on the foot, wouldn't they have then found that he was still injured at the time when they conducted the investigation on the 5? I think they actually started on accused number 3 onwards. Probably accused number 5 refused, apparently, because they keep on telling us that he wasn't cooperating. But was that same investigation done on the people that were actually in the house?
No.
Nope.
No.
Why not?
It's a good question, but I think the defense would ask the man who's in charge, which is IO.
Yeah, it must be asked.
Yes.
You know, in the interest of justice, if really that's all of us are after. Because the very totally injury that time, ultra scanning, a bit more complex, even though the truth can still come out. But we would have known then what injured you then here. If they thought along those lines, which looks like they did, because that they have testified about that in court. That is the only question, amongst others, obviously, but I have to give a chance to other callers. Thank you very much for the good job, guys, that you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night or a good morning. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right. This was close to 3 minutes something. But yeah, guys, you can keep on calling and then keep on liking. We give you time. We always give you time. Let's hear. Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello.
Hi.
Hi,
Hello.
how are you?
Today I was very naughty. I left my volume on like the other callers. I apologize for that because I'm working whilst I'm trying to listen to you guys as well at the same time. I like the view, Emily. So I'll just be quick. All right. I've got just a couple of points to make. The self-disclosure by James Rata is very inappropriate, to be honest with you. I'm just so sick and tired of hearing about what he's done in the past and all that. And I'm just wondering, what does it got to do with the case that's going on right now? Imagine if I was on trial being accused of such a horrendous crime and I had to constantly listen to some man talking about what he's done in the past. I mean, it would just really disgust me, because these are some of the things that actually take time away from actually, doing the cross-examination and focusing on the trial, because every minute that he spends talking about himself, that's a minute that could be spent actually dealing with the case, right?
True.
So, I mean, not even need to tell the world that he actually represented people who ended up going to the gallows anyway. So who would be proud of such a thing, to tell people that I defended people, but then they still went to the gallows and they were killed? That's just ridiculous, and I think he needs to stop with this stupid self-disclosure, because it's not really benefiting anyone or adding any value to anyone, really. So, and then I'm not worried about Mngomezulu's revelation of Dr. Mpasane. I'm not worried at all. I think he just deliberately threw a bone at a wagging dog. Okay, so now that these people are in panic mode, they are running with every piece of information, whether it hurts their case or not. Like you said, Nisano, what if his findings exonerated the very people that he's alleging committed the horrendous crime? There's a favorite author that there's an author that I really like. He says, weakness stems from preparing against an attack, but strength comes from obliging the enemy to prepare against an attack. So what Mngomezulu did is actually obliging the enemy to prepare against an attack. That is why Gininda is running around. This man is just chasing his tail, and he's trying to close gaps that could potentially expose the nefarious plan. So it's not about justice. And lastly, I really think it's a good move by the defense to delay until Thursday. Okay? Yeah. They just confused everyone, because in the past, they never would start cross-examining any of the witnesses before Mngomezulu actually did his cross-examination. Yeah. But this time, they're actually willing to start the cross-examination and let Mngomezulu do it last. Yeah. It's a plan, and it's good, because it seems like Mngomezulu has got like a lot of information, and if he was to put it to Gininda, then Gininda would be running around doing more investigations, trying to close those gaps that have been exposed in the courtroom. So it's a good thing that Mngomezulu is the last person to going to be the last one to cross-examine this guy. So I think it's a really good. And now they're going to be panicking because they don't know what's coming. You know what I mean? My only concern here is that these people may be chasing the wrong people, because people share names, right? So maybe the Mpasane is not the real one. But now I'm just concerned about the family members of those other people, because they could be running around chasing the wrong people, and people's lives could be. Yeah, but we will hope and pray for the best, right? And I'm so annoyed with the exceptional expectations of the defense, or where the JP is concerned, right? I'm sick and tired of hearing about this JP when it's the defense counsel. So the JP seems to be only raising concerns when it's the defense. When he mentioned, when Gininda wanted long study leave, there were no issues, there were no concerns raised. Rata was actually advocating for him and say, we must have Ubuntu. You know what I mean? And there was no concerns about the GP, yes. JP, whatever his name is, So sometimes, and then I really wonder whether the JP is being misrepresented by Rata, or he really says the sentiments that are being communicated in court. Because maybe Rata is just singing for his supper and trying to score points with the JP to look like he's doing something when he's actually doing nothing. Do you know what I mean? I think I'm just so sick of this. I feel like, okay, we're going somewhere, but today I'm just so sick of this. It's just so sickening. It's annoying. It's nauseating, to be honest. And I hope that, in the next couple of weeks, we will get somewhere.
Yes. We're going somewhere. You see, when Advocate Baloyi is done with this particular witness, we are going somewhere.
I really like how Ramasipile has really grown. And I like how he was standing his ground and actually saying, what we discussed in chambers it is what it is. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And so unethical and so unprofessional that he has to actually come to the public live and say that, and ask questions about stuff that was discussed in private, right? If these people wanted this information to be known by the public, they could have discussed it in open court. But the mere fact that they had this conversation in the back, it means it needs to stay there. And he's actually just asking these people questions, thinking that one of them is going to slip and say something that they're not supposed to say in the public eye. And I'm so proud of them that, they kept it the way they kept it. And said, you know what, it is what it is. It stays there. What we discussed stays there, and that's what's going to happen going forward. Yeah. But anyway, thank you, guys. It's a holiday today for me, so I'm going to be home resting. So you guys, have a good night, and I will see you on the next video. I love you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. The feeling is the same inside.
No,
right.
That is my spirit animal. She says some of the things I wish I could say.
Thank you, Gaby, for gifting about 5 members, new members. Let's hope they maintain it. Thank you very much. On their behalf and on behalf of the channel, thank you. Mzansi, hello.
Gaby, thank you so much.
Mzansi, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Mr. Mas. Hello, Sis Emily. How are you?
Yebo.
Hey, we're good. We're good this side.
I'm good. I've just been extremely busy, but I've just been watching whenever I had time. But at least today I have time to watch you. And thank you so much for the work that you do. I just want to say one thing. Judge Rata, he doesn't have leadership qualities at all. Whatever is discussed in private, it stays in private. What kind of a leader is he? What example does he set to the other upcoming judges and other upcoming attorneys, advocates? I just don't understand how this man is built. I just don't know, but I guess it's just his personality. But it's very, very annoying and bad and disrespectful. Advocate Mngomezulu is also one of their colleagues, senior counsel. The way that he does to treat Advocate Mngomezulu like some child, like some whatever, I just don't get it. I don't understand it. And it's very, very unprofessional. I just don't understand why JP doesn't raise this issue. Because for some reason, out of the blue moon today, Mr. JP is spoken about. And all of a sudden, we are going back there just because it's the defense time now. And also, I am happy about what's going on. You see, the two chefs, the cooks, the two ones, Gininda and Baloyi. Allegedly for the sake of the channel, but it's clear now, they are the ones who've been cooking, and I love what's happening because they're running around like headless chickens, and I love the way how Advocate Mngo and the whole of the Defense Council is stressing them, and they should keep this up. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All is alleged.
I like
the name of the channel.
He likes it.
The name of the channel, all is alleged.
Everything is alleged.
It's not us, it's the caller. Right. Guys, it's Emily Nkubeke ngithi Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello.
Mr. Anonymous.
Hi, sir, how are you?
I'm good, and as well, sir.
Not bad.
Emily, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. You're looking beautiful on those headsets.
Thank you.
Nah, guys, I don't have much to say today. I just want to say I'm happy that Gininda is giving a lot of information since he's been started talking. So he's giving a lot of information. So hopefully when the defense, they start to examine him, he's going to give exactly the same information. Hence, he's still giving information. I want to not this thing of he doesn't know probably. So I'm just happy that he's giving a lot of information.
Yes.
And and also I'm still skeptical about this thing of the stage that they are doing. They are not calling the relevant people. They are busy giving us the relevant people. If you can go back to that document out of Senzo Meyiwa, the guy by the name Sbia, he stated straight that he was one of the people who firstly arrived in the crime scene.
Yes.
But why is he not called? And also during that time, the guy was not involved with the police. So why he received the first call, and why is he not called to the podium just to tell us what makes him to be there? Because he was not involved at all with the police. So we need such people, not these ladies of Vodacom whatsoever. We don't need these people. We need the people who are in the scene and the people who arrive in the scene first, just to tell us what did they saw at the time when they arrived in the scene. So the state is playing us, really. It's playing us, and everyone can see. And I'm a little bit surprised why political parties, they are not saying anything in this thing. Because when Tefu started raising his voice, saying this and this is happening, they were having big mouth, talking everything. But now, if they see like the state is playing us, they're not saying. I never had any person under the government, political party, saying something about this case. These people are playing us, man. You are just wasting a lot of time with this case, with a lot of state finance. I understand.
Yeah.
So they are really playing us, these people said. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Oh, sorry about that. Zanzi, hello. All right. Please press the like button. Please press the like button. And thank you for the gift. Who's there? Who gave? Yes. Tembile Kwanaze. Thank you very much. God bless you.
May God
Dan.
increase wherever God
Yes.
your financial
Yes.
portions from.
God bless you.
Yes, may God bless you at all times.
Dr. Tulam Kize. Good morning, Emily, Mr. Anumas. I'm late. I'll go late. Ikhona the video is here for you. It's here. It's here for you. It's here for you. BBM, our moderator, thank you. JJ, thank you. Tepiso, Dimakato, Nguni, thank you. Rebecca, Ndombi, Mabuza, thank you. Lola, thank you. Our member, Sizwe, Long, thank you. Tuli Tools, thank you. Lula Maserai, thank you. Welcome to our members. Zibusiso Mboisa, thank you.
Thank you, Zibusiso
Mesh,
Mboisa.
welcome. Barbara, hey Barbara. Hey Barbara.
It's Barbara.
Barbara Peters, thank you. Tabang Mahlati, thank you. Spiwe Shiba, thank you. Those are new members. MT Darwin, thank you. To the tools I've mentioned to you. Yeah, that's it. It's tough here. Maybe you should come this side now. I wanna be seen also.
Yeah, I think I should. I've had my
Shanji
own
Osibanda.
of screen
Thank
time.
you. Aichi Macheka. Thank you. Yeah, I'm joking. I'll never do that. And Kosinati Zagwe, our member. Thank you. Never do that. Never. It's just something in my mind. Please like the video, guys. Just Mrs. K, thank you very much. We appreciate you. Marcos Peterson, thank you very much. We appreciate you. Mr. Anonymous. Miss Anonymous.
Miss Anonymous.
Gloria, thank you. Colin Vavida.
A mystery.
Yeah, thank you.
Ooh,
Busi Kumete.
Say.
Thank you. Vusutando Makobane. Thank you. Uncle Nays. Thank you. We appreciate you. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, I'm saying this because hey, I'm reading all kinds of names here, and hey, yeah, They change now and then. You find new people. When you get used to someone's name, you find new people. Tandega Zondi, thank you. And Chuku Ana, we don't know you. Come to. Hey, guy, I'm not coming. I was joking. Emily, it's your job. This is your job to show your face. And that's why you're even getting headset. I'm not getting one, right?
Sorry.
Not fair. Yeah, but thank you very much, guys. And thank you, Nat, for all the contributions that you have made in this channel. They really helped us. Now we're able to speak freely without worrying about... thank you very much for your assistance. Thank you. We appreciate it. May God bless you. May God bless all of you guys. And for watching, please like the video and enjoy, guys. We'll see what we can bring you that we think should be revisited, maybe because
Tomorrow
before the cross-examination.
It's the elections.
Of what?
Over USA. I think they'll be announcing who won. I don't know if that's tomorrow or the day after tomorrow.
Oh, no, it takes time. That takes time. Those things take time.
The counting will start, though, tomorrow. That live counting of the votes.
What? The counting?
The counting.
Oh, okay.
And congratulations to Botswana. I'm hearing that Botswana people are happy with their new president.
I'm not happy. But it's fine. It's a story for another day.
Him. He's a Xhosa man.
It's a story for another day. Maybe,
Please,
let other things...
people, update me. Have me on the WhatsApp. I want to know how you guys are feeling. Are you feeling happy?
Let other things unfold.
Let me know, my Botswana people.
There are a lot of things that I can point out. Just few pointers before we leave that I'm not happy about and why I'm not happy about him. If it was someone else, maybe someone else. But this particular individual, I'm not happy. I know you guys are happy, but I'm happy for you because you are happy. But
people are happy.
I'm gonna be a prophet of doom.
They decided to be silent and they go and pick who they want. They didn't make noise on social media. I have no idea what's going on with Botswana politics, but
there's one thing that I know for sure. That someone was complaining about something. And then, after complaining about that something, then someone was pushed by that something. That's what I know. And I'm going to end it there.
Botswana people.
And that's not good news for me. Yeah, but I'm happy for you guys. Congratulations. Yeah, congratulations. The best person won, I guess. Congratulations, guys. But wow, South Africa, born again. Right, thank you very much. It's a bye from me. Sizozwangani from Botswana, guys. You'll tell us about the icon. It can be that someone complains about something and then that something supports the other one that comes in. Icon. I do kanjalo. Mangabe kuzowakhiwa a better country for everyone. Unless it's one-sided. But again, who am I? I'm here in South Africa.
People are happy.
Bonagele like South Africa. Bonagele, it's wishy-wishy. It's fine. We accept it. It was nice seeing countries like Botswana working fine, having certain things working fine. That's why I worry about its neighbors. A country like Botswana, people there were not hungry to come to South Africa. It was well. But let's wait and see what then is going to happen after this, because but Minage, I'm a bad person. I'm always a bad person. Go to bed, Mr. Noah's Net. I heard you saying congratulations. Congratulations are in order for Botswana. Thank you very much, guys. It's a bye from me. Just that these things, they always want us to say some things. It's a bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye, guys.